A huge and unexpected victory today for the plaintiffs suing the Trump administration to stop them from adding a question about citizenship to the census. The Justice Department announcing in an email that the printer has been instructed to begin printing the 2020 census questionnaire without the citizenship question. It is a truly surprising turn, especially since it comes just a day after the president himself lawlessly threatened to delay the census altogether until he got his question on it. And he was very clear about his motivations for wanting the question in the first place.
Will you be delaying the census for the Supreme Court ruling on the census?
Yeah, we're looking at that.
Why do you think it's so important that that question be asked?
I think it's very important to find out if somebody's a citizen as opposed to an illegal. I think that there's a big difference to me between being a citizen of the United States and being an illegal.
Okay, first of all, that is not at all an accurate characterization of what the citizenship question would do, because it wouldn't ask immigration status. There's lots of folks who are legal and not citizens, just whether people are citizens. But more crucially, Trump's own words right there completely undercut the official cover story that his administration has been telling publicly, both in court under oath and to Congress under oath, about its motivations for adding the question. Commerce Secretary Wilbur Ross, among others, insisted the idea for the question came from the Trump DOJ, which supposedly wanted the question added to, get this, better enforce the Voting Rights Act. Yes, you heard that right. The Trump administration under Jeff Sessions was so intent on maximally enforcing that Voting Rights Act, they needed the citizenship question. That was what they tried to sell, anyway. The real story is that with input from Steve Bannon and Chris Kobach, and at the behest of Wilbur Ross, the DOJ concocted a pretext to cover up what documents suggest was the true motivation: to reduce levels of response from immigrant communities. An undercount of immigrants would have enormous consequences for apportioning of congressional representation, state redistricting, and federal appropriations, hurting chiefly, though not exclusively, the political power of blue states and cities. And in the stark words of GOP gerrymandering mastermind Thomas Hofeller, adding the question would, and I quote, be advantageous to Republicans and non-Hispanic whites. The bad faith of the Trump administration was so egregious that two different courts found its actions in violations of the law. And when the question got up to the Supreme Court, conservative Chief Justice John Roberts couldn't bring himself to ignore just how flagrantly the Trump administration had lied. He joined the four liberals in blocking the question. But Roberts gave the administration an out. Go back and, come up with a better reason. Many expected them to take another run at it. But alas, today, it looks like the Trump administration basically had to admit it was all a ruse and wave the white flag. It is an exhilarating and improbable victory for fair counting, democratic representation, government transparency about its motives, and the rule of law.